as they bunch together and get ready to come around turn 17. This is like opening up the curtains or your shutters at home. When you come around turn 17, there it is, the front stretch at Sebring, and the Mobil 1 12 Hours at Sebring is about to begin. It's an exhilarating feeling if you're a driver or a spectator, or you're on pit road watching. This is going to be awesome as they're unleashed towards turn 1. 56 car field, some new entrants, some legends, and some unfinished business. The Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring is away for 2025, and Dries Vanthoor leads the field of green.
He wasn't hanging around, immediately jumps to the front, and it's side by side here. That blue and white machine, that's Tom Blomqvist aboard the Acura, go for another win here at Sebring. Following up on the win here last year, it's the two Penske Porsches immediately behind. Big lock up there by Neil Jani, that's the black machine. That's the Proton entry, a customer racing Porsche.
And that's what I was talking about, those tire temps in GTP. So tough at the start as Johnny just gets freight trained down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, GTD Pro and GTD firing off into turn 1. It's the Ferrari Dragon Speed at the front.
Albert Costa is at the head of a hungry, angry pack of GTD and GTD Pro cars, all trying to find some track space on this opening lap.
That green Porsche there sitting in second is the defending class champion, Lauren Heinrich. That car is known as Rexy. You see the dinosaur teeth there at the front. Someone's off in the back of the pack there, Tanzan.
And I just saw Felipe Nasr on the top side, I think, go to second in GTP, overtaking Blomqvist. This is early drama, the 18. And is that the 88?
Lutka in the 18.
See a car number there as we zoom in.
Pretty sure it's
that's the, yeah, I see the Pelosi logo there. That's the 88, the compound car. Father Luis Perez and his son Matias making their race debut together. Lipke there seems to be stuck trying to get reverse, and now it's just digging in. He's going to high center that P2 car.
And then here we go. Drop the green, he stays out. The 6 car is Yamane trying to make a move on Blomqvist there.
That was a good turn 17 from the second. Porsche 963 rounding Blomqvist. Blomqvist has got the inside. On a restart, that's sketchy stuff, but good work from the Porsche man.
Boy, the Porsche Penske's just really chewing up the Acura of Blomqvist here in the early few laps. And this is going to be fun to watch over the next 11 and a half so hours. The 0-2-3 in the fence hard.
Charles Scardina, second caution of the day.
That left front is gone, guys. That's a big hit. Look at the concrete block. Oh my, completely displaced.
Tell you what though, guys, this may be bad news for the GTP leaders. I don't think they were far away from needing an energy top-up, so pit lane is closed when we go yellow at this time.
That is a very unusual place to leave the racetrack. That is, I believe, on the entrance to turn 13 over by the airport. Wonder if he got clipped by another car, but that is a massive off at really high speed. Let's watch.
Here we go. I think the 10 car's involved.
Oh, Ricky Taylor.
Oh. Luckily that block moved, Cal, because that really dissipates some energy. We'll be down for a little while here under caution because they'll have to get a forklift to place that again on board here.
Yeah, he hadn't lifted, he was just accelerating, so I think Ricky must have just misjudged the difference in acceleration rate there and just touches him. Ricky's one of the cleanest drivers out there, so it certainly wouldn't have been through frustration or anything like that, just mistimed, I think.
And that's going to be certainly a drive-through for Taylor once we get back to green. Might even be a stop and hold depending on how race control evaluates the severity of that contact. Oh, Grosjean.
Stack them up, he hasn't gone. Green is out and he is not in the right gear. He can't get power aboard that Lamborghini, he is swamped.
I don't know if that was gearing or something else catastrophic, but it doesn't matter now as the Cadillac leads into turn 1 and they're all bunched up behind.
Jack Aitken leads the way, and then Ringer van der Zande got a super start. So he was sitting fourth for that entire opening stint. The BMWs come together as they fight over the same piece of track.
Yeah, really tight there through turn 4. They do survive that little skirmish. Then Jimmy Bruni now on the attack on the second of that BMW. That's the bright yellow JDC Miller Motorsport Porsche 963.
Entire field of GTD Pro grouped together in this one fight. Intense.
But difference in the rules now that, oh, here we see it. This is getting crazy here. The BMW the outside. Garcia down the inside. That was so close, almost touches the Porsche.
And Verhagen around the outside in the BMW M4.
How did they make it out of that one? It did not look like it was going to play out for any of the three. As Figueroa back to the front. Garcia with a bold move there up the inside of turn 1.
Alessio Picariello in the bright green Rexy Porsche for AO. Just steadfast. So strong, getting hit, getting pushed. This is awesome racing from the GTD Pro guys.
Oh boy, the 18.
Turn 17.
That's Lutke again, and that is a massive displacement in the final corner. I think that's the attenuator for the start of pit lane. Holy cow. Oh, that's on the way in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's that secondary tire barrier. I've been in that
Just
more
be
than
a
once
short,
in my career.
Yeah, will just be a short full course yellow procedure here, so pit lane will be closed and not reopen.
Certainly going to need a new nose at a minimum on that P2 car. That's the...
Swift have to do a quick spin when the tires are hot.
Especially when the left front's grenaded. Oh, he just
got it.
Oh, boy.
Wow. That had to be a scary moment. About 170 miles an hour approach speed in an LMP2 machine. Missed his marks there or had a technical issue with the braking system.
That looked like he was doing 190.
Woo.
And let me tell you, those tire stacks, they feel like concrete when you hit them, and there's evidence of it. The left front is gone. I like the we still got a chance attitude here, but I just don't see it. Look at the parts falling off as he'll drag that left front to pit lane. That thing is destroyed.
We're going back racing, and Jack Aitken isn't wasting any time. He will have known how fast and aggressive Renger van der Zande was, who is under attack from Robin Freins. Freins on the inside. Van der Zande gets pushed wide in turn 1. It's Acura versus BMW, and Van der Zande will hold on to second.
Yeah, runs the cushion there around turn 1, carries that speed. Freins pretty respectful there, didn't want to wash out and get into the side of the Acura, so his speed was a little bit compromised, even though he had the track position on the inside of Apex.
Oh, here we go again. Let's hit the repeat button in GTD Pro. That's Neil Verhagen has got by Picariello.
Well, here we have a big one. Spike.
PJ Hyatt is behind the wheel, and Rodrigo Salas, and now the 74 is involved in a different incident. Gar Robinson, that's the second one today, but this is huge.
Wonder if that's from damage from getting involved here, trying to put the pieces together right now. We'll try and catch a replay here and say how this one evolved. PJ Hyatt, 4-time pole sitter last year, couldn't get the car to victory lane. So out on the front row after an amazing qualifying session here between he and Stephen Thomas as we go caution once again. He backs it out.
Let's take a look at a sequence of replays. That's Salas on the inside, Hyatt in the purple car around the outside. Not quite synchronized spinning, but not a pretty sight at turn 1 in Sebring.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Robinson was involved then or whether he got off the road a little bit and was just trying to get it all back together by the time they got to turn 3. There it is. No, he just gets squeezed a little bit.
Oh.
88 car there just gets a little bit sideways. He's been in the wars already here today. On board with the 04 car of George Kurtz. He escapes. There's going to be more argy-bargy up in front of him.
Oh, he's going to escape twice, isn't he? Let's watch this. Watch what unfolds in front of Kurtz. Nicely done.
And who has shown their hands so far? We'll see what Frederick Beshte can do on the restart in that red and white Cadillac. He gets the green behind him. Alex Palou and then Lawrence Vantour in the Porsche.
Great jump there by the 23-year-old Dane. Freddie Vesti takes the Whelen Engineering Cadillac to the front. Palou going to settle in here quickly. He's got one of the Porsches right on his tail of Lawrence Vantour. Rolex 24-hour winners right behind him.
I think the biggest thing for Palou now is, obviously, he's an incredibly talented race car driver, but he doesn't drive this car on a regular basis. More importantly, he doesn't run on these tires on a regular basis. And what we've seen is it takes several laps for them to come in. He's going to be able to handle the lack of grip. It's just what he can expect and what he knows. That may be a little bit lacking compared to the cars around him.
Jose Maria Lopez in the 14, and that is the 48 of Jesse Krohn.
Just gets hooked there. Just tears up that left front bodywork on the 14 car. You can't afford to have that happen. You got to read this situation a little bit better. Pretty feisty down there at the inside. Sees the opportunity, but we're in hour 3 of this motor race.
Remember Lopez substituting for the training injured Ben Barnicoat in this 14 Lexus. These drivers, I mean, they know each other, you know, by reputation and by name, but they don't race together all the time.
Well, and I think that's a big, big factor in this. And the gas pedal works both ways, Calvin. You know, for Lopez, he gets the nose in there, but at some point in time, discretion's got to become the better part of valor, especially 2 hours and 15 minutes into a 12-hour race.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing moves that are being made in the first 3 hours of the race that you'd expect in the final 3, but not this early in the race, because how bad will that damage get down these long straightaways here? How much of that bodywork is going to be ripped up, and how compromised is the downforce settings on the front end of that Lexus now for the next 9 3/4 hours?
The number 6 Porsche Penske and Matt Campbell holding them off, but also trying to get through that GTD traffic with the Corvette up ahead. Now, Whitman looking to the outside. This is, whoa!
Thought
That was sketch.
Thought he could use a Corvette as a pick, and it didn't happen.
What hour is this?
It doesn't matter. It ain't the last hour. Not the last hour. That's what hour it is.
But it's really become a sprint race, right? I mean, we've seen that for the last several years. You know, people say it's not endurance racing anymore. It's a sprint. But you still have to keep your head about you, your wits about you to get to the end. But guys are pressing hard. Long gone are the days where you just took it easy.
Look at that energy status graphic on the lower left-hand side. So this is important. If the yellow came out, say, in another 4 or 5 laps, it'd be big advantage to Marco Whitman. Less energy needed to plug in, less time in pit lane. Easiest pass you can make all day. Let's take a look at this again. They come out of the water tower turn 13 here, start to accelerate, and now they're coming through the bend. One goes high, one goes low, and that Corvette driver is watching his radar and thinking, please don't take me out.
Great job to just sit in the middle of the road and let him go by, and that's the experience.
Verone on board the number 4.
That's the kind of move that can get you to the end. Just staying there. Hold your line, right, Brian? There's a view from the CrowdStrike LMP2 car.
Now, if you're the driver of the GTD car, Verone here, Nico up ahead, you're literally pulling your elbows in, even though it doesn't make a difference.
It makes you feel better.
Reaction is shrugging your shoulders, pulling your elbows in, and holding your breath.
Bit of a stretch, as it were, yeah.
Speaking of drama.
Yeah, this is Brendan Hartley, drama for him in turn 17, and you can see he is there in the car moving around, but that's pretty much a straight-on shot into the tire pack there.
Kind of a weird deal, and when you look at Brendan Hartley, a massively experienced driver, you see smoke trailing from the back of the car. It doesn't look like it's off the right front. It's strange. From that angle, it was really hard to see if it actually is off the right front brake. That's what you would think. It's not. It's off the back of the car, from underneath the car, and then the right front locks up towards the end. But this is somebody who's won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 times, 4-time champion in WC.
Listen.
He's downshifting, trying to slow the car down as it gets out there. So something is not working the way it should. Couldn't hear what he was saying on the radio, but something wasn't working the way that it should. It's nosed into the tire. Obviously, it's moved that tire pack, but I can't tell how much damage has been done to the front of it. The great thing about these tire packs, notice they're not up against another wall, but even if they were, they're multiple tires deep, and then they have that heavy banding on them. It keeps them together, and it works almost like a giant safer barrier. When you hit it, it moves the entire tire pack and moves that energy and spreads it well throughout the tire pack. And so we'll have to see what kind of damage has been done. Losing a lot of time, obviously, sitting there. We'll see how much damage is to the front of the car when he pulls him out. Now the green flag flies, 60 out in front. It had been the Cadillac. They had led so many laps here. Odd that he started dead last in GTP after the electrical gremlins they had in qualifying did the 31. But those Acuras have been super quick all weekend long, and now Colin Brown has nothing in his windscreen in front of him on this restart.
Yeah, two old teammates behind each other right now in second and third. You got Earl Bamber now driving for GM, and Cadillac, of course, and his old Porsche teammate Nick Tandy. They've had so much success together. Won Le Mans overall back in 2015, sharing the same car.
51, 52, 53. This feels like you've had a birthday.
Yeah, it's the best part of a lap. It's 33 seconds to come down pit lane, plus you hold the 60, so best part of a lap. There you see the other GTP cars flying through turn one. So we'll try and get an indicator whether it was a little mistake by Brendan Hartley. As you said earlier, Brian, very rare that he'll make a mistake like that. So much success, so much experience in prototype competition, but whatever it is, he's got to regroup as well and focus forward.
Ricky Taylor is with us now. By the way, they've gone from 3 laps down back to 1 lap down. First, before we get to the penalty, tell me about the issues that you were having that caused the problems.
Yeah, I guess first of all, we had a throttle sensor issue and we weren't getting full throttle. Thankfully, all of this is happening early on, so the guys fixed everything in the pits. And originally, I thought the penalty was something related to the pit stop sequence. But
so we saw the replay, and it looked like that there was a reason why the Ferrari spun. But you're in the car. Did you make contact with the 023?
Nope, I didn't make contact. I talked to Bo afterwards just to say I never touched him. He sent me the screenshot of what they saw, and the angle really looks bad for me. But going through 10 and 11, sometimes we'll look to the outside, and we'll take a run on the outside and sort of test the GT if they want to defend us or if they leave it open. And he went to cover that outside line, and when he went to cover it, he put himself in the dirty part of the. So I'm sorry that they had a bad day, but I didn't touch him, and I wish we had an onboard to prove it, but I can't blame race control. They can't reverse it now. We're just going to have to keep fighting to put Cadillac in victory lane here.
Thank you. By the way, Bo Barfield is the race director, so they've got 2 of the laps back, but they're probably looking at it without this penalty, they'd be on the lead lap.
Right on board the 93, the Acura with Ringer Van de Zande behind the wheel right now. Just had a pass on the racetrack. Take a look. He's got his teammate behind him in that turquoise Acura. Van de Zande, the red, white, and black 93 is going to slide up the inside in the brake zone there. Makes pretty quick work of the 25, but goes a little wide.
Go on board and take a look here.
Man, he goes deep in the brakes and can't get it woed down in time.
And I think Sheldon may get back around him here, or does he? No, he hangs on to it.
I think he just shuts the door there in the second half coming out of 7, and it was like, yeah, no, this is going to work. So now back in front. Let's listen in turn 1, see if he's saving fuel again.
Yeah, a little bit.
Try to take out the Corvette, and certainly Corvette expressing their displeasures as we're side by side here.
This is for the lead of the race, and the 7 has it gotten by the Cadillac, and the 10, the other Cadillac from Wayne Taylor Racing, just in front, trying to keep from going another lap down. So they're going to be holding on as tight as they possibly could, but looked like there might have been GT traffic coming up. There was going to be a little bit of a pick. That might have had something to do with it there.
Transmission.
Nothing there.
Called it, Cal. Engine still running, but driveline just free spinning. Oh, devastating.
Imagine being out in front. This car has been at the front all day in GTD.
I think at this stage of the race, you think about any interruption of this little battle from Porsche management. Does Urs Corrado, for example, go down to Christian Reed at Proton and say, hey, don't hold up our leader of this race? Now Nasri's made this move before around the outside. This is going to get dicey here. He's got wheels in the dirt. Frustrating time for Nasr here. He's starting to push and he's starting to put the car in the danger zone here.
Factory Porsche, customer Porsche. And the customer is not making life easy.
Now, well,
Yeah.
they have the big lead as the
Whoa.
21 of Pierre Guidi from the lead in GTD goes for a ride.
He got away with it.
That was a huge escape. Wow.
That looked like the NFR finals in Vegas. Pierre Guidi going cowboy with the American flag on the car.
Even the diffuser strakes look pretty good in that tails away shot. Amazing.
That is if this car and this team goes on to win, that'll be a moment that they will reflect upon and say, we got so lucky.
What in the world happened there in turn one? Because he went off seemingly pretty early in the corner.
Let's have a look at it and let's see how indeed he got away with it. Way wide.
So wide.
You know, we've talked about how long we've gone, guys, without a yellow. I wonder if he just was a little bit on the high side with the BMW GTP coming and he got into those marbles, Cal.
Yeah, I think that's a great point there. He may have just got distracted with those
Zach Robichon got a front row view of that, and the Aston Martin was able to skip by. It's that car 27.
Oh no, the 21, it looks like no exhaust on the left side. I'm gonna say motor for the Ferrari.
I wondered, Townsend, I saw a wisp, like something was overheating on that motor after he had that off. There was definitely a wisp that you could see in front of the windshield there as he was coming through some of the corners.
Looks like Lalu Wudu is actually taken over.
So the 27 of Casper Stevenson. Hang on. And look out.
That's, I can't even imagine what's going on in his mind right now. And now it's even worse because it's driver's side towards the racetrack. Oh, good. Wow.
That's why I let you go there, because I knew there were going to be at least 3 O's and one man. Oh, man.
It's just, I'm too old for this.
Channel, they were telling him to hit pit lane because of the damage. He was reporting back that the car did not feel right, so they're going to look over this BMW and see exactly if it's just cosmetic or if the damage is going to be much more severe. But boy, looking at the 60, you can see that their day took a massive hit, that left front. Meanwhile, the BMW crew looking over that car, and we'll report back more in just a moment. They're taking the bodywork off.
Pace car is gone. Green flag is back out. Frederick Veshti and the Cadillac take the green. Porsche's chasing him behind.
Everybody trying to get some temperature in those Michelin tires. Everything's different in those few minutes that we've been gone. Look at how dark and shaded the racetrack is now in certain areas, and that just means that tarmac is going to get cooler and cooler and cooler, and it's going to gain grip, and this is what happens. It catches you out.
Big trouble for the 88. Is that Matias Perez-Campank? It is. He has crashed the Argentinian first IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship race with his dad today, and that car has significant damage at the restart.
Yeah, that's coming through 17, the exit of 17, I believe, and never makes it off the corner.
And just like that, another few minutes is going to go by, and this track is going to change some more.
Yeah, because we're going to go caution, obviously, but let's see if we can see what happens. He just gets wide, and it's never going to come back to him. He's out in the gray, and there's no way it's going to work. Big hit.
Tire pack there, saving more significant damage, but the car is pretty toast.
And if I'm a GTD competitor and I just ran through that debris field, of which it was pretty extensive.
Here we go.
Here we go, and you're going to have to get those Michelins up to tire temperature and pressure. We saw the problem just a moment ago on the restart. The racetrack is changing every single lap, and look at this. Pressing for the lead.
Tandy to the inside. He doesn't get it there, but boy, he had a great restart. He is still on it.
Vesti with a little wiggle coming off the corner. Both of them having a hard time getting the power down, and now Tandy looks up the inside again. Oh, look at this battle for the lead. in GTD Pro.
Dan Harper looking to the outside as they head toward turn number 1. Dennis Olsen trying to hold him off in the Mustang. Mustang stays the course for now, but here comes Harper with a crossover. BMW back to the other side. Can Harper get him in turn 3? Yes, he's going to take the lead. BMW and Paul Miller racing to the front. No. Oh, look out here. This is such a great battle. There for third again, Klaus Bachler. He had it, he gave it back, and now Madison Snow trying to get it back. There's contact there between the Porsche and the BMW.
Little touch, a little rub. Bachler giving Snow just enough room as they came off of 7 and then tried to squeeze him a little bit as they went through the 8-9 complex, now out of 10. Headed over to Tower Turn 13, right-hander coming up.
Snow wanted by, but now is that Rockefeller in the 64? Is that the other Mustang behind him trying to get by?
I believe it is.
And there you have it, right behind them, the 3. Daniel Chugadea in the Chevy Corvette. He's in the picture now.
No, nobody's going to roll over.
Meanwhile, for the overall lead,
we go.
check this out. Tandy on the inside of Vesti.
Wow. Could that be the move that gives Nick Tandy the highly improbable 5 wins across the 5 major endurance races? He is going for it in the darkness, getting blocked up the inside of the back straightaway. Bold and decisive, a lot like his teammate Felipe Nasr, who he will likely hand the car to for the closeout.
Yeah, just amazing stuff. We talked about that victory at the Rolex, ticking the box, being the first driver to ever win the big 4 24-hour races overall. He's won Petit Le Mans. If he could win here, that'd be 6 big endurance wins. Incredible stuff.
P2 car is going to go to the outside. That's going to really hurt Jack, along with that other car that just fires it into the apex. He was not expecting that, and now Ellis is all over him.
That's what I anticipated, is how the prototype traffic cuts through you. Does it delay you? Does it send you wide into the marbles here with someone chasing you and right on the tail?
Watch this. They're down to 11% of energy. They don't have to come in yet. They can still stay out there for another lap or 2 before having to come to the pits. And that was tight. Coming through turn 16 for Jack Hawksworth as 2 P2 cars went flying through.
Oh, 57 got way wide.
Really
out
wide.
of the marbles. That's a disaster. It's going to take a while as Hawksworth pits.
Did he get caught out there with Hawksworth diving to pit lane and had to adjust the line and got him in the gray?
Hawksworth is protecting here, so 59 minutes to go. Jack still has plenty of fuel in the car, but he does not want to get caught out by a yellow. Hawksworth striking immediately.
Yeah, he's got to stretch this. He's got to use this advantage he has. He could possibly pull Ellis by about a couple of seconds here on this next lap.
Watch
There's Ellis. Ellis coming out of pit lane. Hawksworth coming through turn 1. There you see him just exiting right now.
Ellis,
traffic coming down the inside on Ellis right there. The blue machine, and the Hawk is right on his tail. Talons are out and he pounces.
He didn't even give Ellis a chance to move over. He got his right front wedged in there. Got the hazards on wisely down the backstretch. The tires
the
are
left
looking,
rear
oh, it's
is down.
completely gone. That's shades of Parker Kligerman mid-race, and that tire carcass is going to be
Middle of the road.
really tough to see at night. If somebody pops out of a draft, that's a good reason for a caution.
Caution, exactly.
If you ever needed one.
Talk a little louder, Tanzan. That's a good reason.
Come on, Bo.
Does a caution come out?
I know it looks like a soft tire carcass, but that's probably 10, 12 pounds of rubber, Cal. It's a projectile.
All day is in. Final stop of the day. Chris.
Oh. And that is actually what the call is right before. As you see, the carcass nearly gets swiped. Was it getting Sebastian in? They're right in their window, top them off full of fuel. What would the 04 do? Is the 80's in to repair that tire? And now the caution comes out.
And you can hear the cheers behind you, Chris, on pit lane. They timed that perfectly.
Look at Gemini. So Nazar's weaving side to side. Gemini is just glued to him. But now Nazar goes. The Brazilian is set to just take off and leave his teammate behind. But has Gemini got a run here? We're back to racing at Sebring. Closing 31 minutes.
Nazar tried to get the jump there, but you could see he's struggling for grip on the exit of turn 17 as he tries to outjump his teammate here at the off.
Jonathan Dugood said we'll keep an eye on the 93. They've had good speed, and the 31 is who we're racing for the win as well. We'll see how it works out over this half an hour.
Nazar and his teammate behind him have judged this perfectly. Someone's off there. Is that down in turn 3?
Someone's in the fence big time. It looks like Porsche headlights to me. No, it's not. I think it's P2 car.
Outside turn 1.
United number 22.
Oh.
The rest are behind the wheel.
Big spin, huge damage to the rear wing. That'll bring the Scottish driver to pit lane if he can make it.
Came across the stripe in P5 as they took the restart.
That's the car that won P2 at the Rolex 24. What happened to the former F1 driver?
Oh boy, got into the back, I think, of the
11.
74.
I think it was the 11 maybe of Jensen.
It's just as close in GTD Pro with 1.2 seconds between first and second. Look at the Mercedes though, the third car in shot, really starting to apply the pressure to Jack Hawksworth now.
He's really hooking those curbs there to just trying to carve into that gap that he sees immediately in front of him.
This is the best chance Ellis has had, the run down to turn 7.
Hawksworth's going to have to go proactive here and take that inside lane. He does so immediately. Ellis deep on the brakes into turn 7. They touch.
Tries to give Hawksworth the squeeze, but the Hawk was having none of it.
That is good pressure driving, handling it and applying it.
He knew exactly how that was going to play out. He knew that Ellis had the run. Oh, Ellis tries to surprise him. Hawksworth momentarily closes the door, opens up his hand so there is not contact.
That was a deep lunge from Ellis. I thought that was going to be a much bigger hit than it was.
I think Hawksworth saw it or had a spot to call it and just opened up his hand so they didn't have the big contact.
Hawksworth just ran a little bit wide of the turn 13 apex. Now the advantage comes back to the Lexus, I think. These are the corners where Hawksworth really has it mastered.
Yeah, this is my concern when they get to the tail end of some of those GTD Pro cars. He's around the outside. Corvette doesn't see him. Ellis has got a big run here.
Jack Hawksworth is flashing the lights, saying, "Let me through." And he'll squeeze his way through.
Ellis goes with him. He's closer.
Alexander Sims gives them room.
Oh, Ellis is shoving. Ellis just pushed Hawksworth off the track, or at least off the line. Ellis is through for the GTD lead.
New leader of that class, and now we switch the narrative. Can Jack Hawksworth make the comeback?
Going to be tough. It's an area of the racetrack where I think Ellis has a slight advantage. That might give him the gap that he needs by the time they get onto the Ullman straightaway.
Ellis picked up Hawksworth rear bumper and just didn't let up. Like a dog grabbing your ankle, just clawed at him and moved him out of the way. Didn't push him off, just did a bump and run. Brilliantly executed.
Nick Tandy is going to continue his unbelievable win rate. Lawrence Vantor is going to celebrate his first, but it's Felipe Nasr who drives home the victory for Porsche Penske Motorsport. And 36 hours of racing in the IMSA WeatherTech Series is dominated by Porsche Penske Motorsport to start the 2025 season. Daytona and Sebring belongs to the captain's team.
Perfect execution. What a day.
The LMP2 class, boy, that has been hotly contested today, but it is the 43 of the champion from last year, Tom Dillman, the Frenchman, will steer this car home and grab victory, along with Jeremy Clark on debut and Bijoy Garg.
First IMSA class win for inter-Europol competition.
And how about this in GTD Pro? Whoa, weaving Lauren Heinrich. Is that like an early celebration
maybe
for Rexy? Shaking Rexy down the back stretch. She's got a 5-second advantage. The champion from GTD Pro last year, AO Racing, goes to victory lane here at the Sebring 12 Hour. Lauren Heinrich drives it home. Awesome performance. His teammates celebrate. Klaus Barkler and Alessio Picariello. And then the 57 of Phil Ellis and Winwood Racing. Talk about a comeback drive and had to make the move. Winward Racing wins at Sebring back-to-back years. And Jack Hawksworth for Vassar Sullivan Lexus will drive home for second ahead of Gamble and the heart of racing Aston Martin.
It's been a while. What a start to this season. Coming off another championship, you're 2 for 2 in 25.
It's just incredible. I'm speechless. What a job that the whole team did it today. Nick did a great pass there in the end on the 31, and then it was just about, getting ourselves to the front, looking after the tires, the fuel. Very challenging race, you can tell. I mean, Sebring delivers it all. It's challenging, it's physical, but incredible for Porsche, for Penske. It's been a while, but what a start to the year.
I see some teammates coming, so I want to get them coming in. You greet them real quick, and then I'm going to run over and get a word with Nick as well. What are we calling this? Is this the six-pack, the big six? What do you got for you?
Baby.
How we doing it?
Oh, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's just awesome.
Talking earlier.
We love winning races.
We love winning.
You're getting used to it. Here comes Lawrence Vantor as well. Porsche Penske wins again at Sebring. First time in 18 years overall. Chris.
First class win for Inter Europol. The finishing driver in LMP2 is Tom Dillman. What a miraculous drive. That final restart. How the heck did you track down that 04 car?
Yeah, IMSA, very, very intense at the end of the race. All to play for. You can really go from 0 to 0 in an instant. So it's very intense. My teammate did a great job keeping the car neat for me to push at the end. We had a really quick car in the night as well, which is what we planned, and we executed very well, and I'm so happy, and I mean, I'm a bit lost for words, you see. No, it's awesome. The team did a great job, everybody, and we deserve this.
This is such a young group. What does this moment mean as you guys continue to build this program up and now contend for a championship?
Yeah, I mean, we won the championship last year, pairing with PR1, and now we had a tough Daytona with a mechanical failure, and we come back here winning, so we are back in contention, and we will keep doing that until the end of the year.
Congratulations. Tom Dillman, Inter Europol, your winners at Sebring, Matt Yoakum.
And Rexy finds victory lane. Lauren Heinrich, the emotion on the radio was so genuine and telling. What does this event mean for you to score for your racing resume?
It means so much to me, because last year we could win the championship, but we won also 3 races, but we didn't win any of the big endurance classics like Daytona, Sebring or Petit. So now ticking that off the list, I mean, it was one of the big goals coming into the season for me, and I couldn't do it with him and with him, because they drove fantastic, and he's even already a double winner. So
and this is
incredible.
One of those big 6. When you look at the trends of the day, what was it like sitting on the box for that final hour?
Very nerve-biting. I mean, I have no nails anymore now, but I knew when Lauren is in the car, it's no risk, and he was so quick at the end. That's for sure. It was long, but I mean, it's so good, so good. Sebring, I mean, it's such a tough race, and we made it happen.
I think the celebration on the roof might have done it. Now, Klaus, what kind of statement does this send to everybody? The type of day you guys have had coming back like this team did.
I mean, we just enjoy the moment. We won the 12 Hours of Sebring, and for sure it's very good also for the championship. But like Lauren said, it's one of the biggest races. One of the biggest races you can win. We won it today, and I'm so happy to share this moment with these 2 guys. I mean, Lauren did the job in the end. It was incredible to watch also. I mean, I was less nervous, I would say, than Alessio, because I know what he can do. So in the end, when he passed the BMW, I thought, okay, now we are in a good position. You never know. I mean, at the restarts, many things can happen with the traffic. But anyway, I'm so happy that we are together and we won this race together. And now we will celebrate, and then there's still a long season in front of us.
We're going to celebrate indeed. Remember, go light on the champagne. Rexy in victory lane here at Sebring. Chris?
Winward Mercedes had an absolute thriller of a day, going from the back to the front, had to survive a penalty, and then it took a drive like none other from Philip Ellis here. Talk me through that battle with the Lexus, and what did you have to do to get by him?
Well, had to use everything we had, elbows, shoulders, knees, everything. It was a good battle with Jack and also the Ferrari behind me. I think it was Daniel. And yeah, it was very enjoyable. I think he got checked up one time. Had a run through 7 and didn't quite make it, and then finally got stuck in 5. So yeah, just super proud of the team to get us back, especially after the late penalty. And yeah, just super stoked that we did it back-to-back.
It was an unbelievable drive. Russell Ward, you were just absolutely a nervous wreck on the box. I saw you fist pumping after the move, but what does it say about this team, the resilience? It seems like no matter what faces you guys as far as adversity, somehow you guys find a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about not giving up. I mean, you have to, in this series, you can always come back. So, it's an awesome drive by Phillip at the end. And, I mean, all three of us just, kept the nose clean, and that's how you win this race. So, I mean, 2 in a row for Windward. Awesome. Certainly
is. And then how about Indy Donchi? Boy, you have career numbers when it comes to these endurance races as you pick up another one. The significance of this one, though, and the way it happened, what does it say about these two that you share the car with?
Well, it's unbelievable to share it with them. It's, again, back-to-back win here in Sebring is unbelievable. I have to say, head off for Phillip. He did an awesome job, but also Russell. He took it out in the heat. It was really tough for us, but in the end, it was all good. We won it, and I'm really happy with it.
What a start to the year. 4th at Daytona, now winners back-to-back at Sebring. Windward Racing continues their dominance here as of late at Sebring.
And what a storied day. Incredible story for them. So after 2 rounds of the 2025 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, this is how the points stand.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting when you look at the side table there with the manufacturers. There's 2 Porsches, then 2 Acuras, 2 Cadillacs, 2 BMWs. But I would say all 6 manufacturers had pace here today. So looking at the championship season at this point forward, it's anyone's game for victory.
I don't know. I mean, they might have pace, Cal, but you got Porsche Penske on a tear to start the season. You got to figure it out as a team. You're going to need to do something to mix it up and stop the freight train that has already started for this year, because you let those guys get too far ahead, it might be over before you know it.
Let's roll through all 4 classes. LMP2, how does it look?
Tight.
Just 2 points in it. That is awesome.
Yeah, really tight. Great win for Dillman and Garg there. They now sit in P3, so it's really tight there. You got 4 teams within 54 points. That's nothing. That's the difference between basically a win and 3rd place on the road any one single race. So very tight there in LMP2.
All the way down to 7th place in points with Bourdais and Ferrano and Alvarez. The kind of pace that they showed today in that number 8 car, it's going to be strong down the stretch. Also, the 04, always a factor.
Consistency that's got the 74 on top with a 2nd at the Rolex and a 4th here tonight. GTD Pro, a little more room to breathe, but 2 different winners from the first 2 races. 17-point difference for the Ford trio over the 77 tonight's winners.
Yeah, I think Ford will be very happy, though, that they had good pace here on a very different racetrack to Daytona. They hold on to that championship lead based on the win at Daytona and then a top 6 here today, so bodes well for the rest of the season. But Rexy, they look tough.
They really do, but I go back to IMSA doing a great job with the torque sensor now in GTD, because in terms of potential, all these manufacturers seem like they are very close in pace, not just in GTD Pro, but also in GTD. Windward in the 57 leading, once again looking strong, but you go down through that field, there's a lot to suggest there's going to be a fight all the way down the end to Atlanta at the end of the season.